I'm at the office, man. Anyway, I'll answer that. So, okay, let me do this. So, Rhys McKee versus Daniel Frunza. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't think this is going to be a long breakdown, to be honest. Um, to be honest, both of them are terrible. Um, Rhys McKee has horrible defense, both as far as his ground game and his stand-up game. Rhys McKee gets hit more than he throws. His takedown defense is terrible, and I'm not basing this off of the fact that he lost to Hamza Chimaev, because there's no shame in losing to Hamza Chimaev. But even in general, like, his takedown defense is terrible. So at the same time, I mean, Daniel Frunza is not particularly that great as well. But between the both of them, at the very least, Daniel Frunza is undefeated as far as I know. I would need to actually check. Is he undefeated? No, he's not undefeated. I think he lost 2 fights, if I'm not mistaken. But still, I feel like Daniel Franza is going to be a little bit better. I know Rhys McKee has a 100% finishing rate, but that's the only advantage he has. It's that he somehow finishes every fight he wins. And that could happen. I mean, Franza is a debutant, and obviously debutantes in the past have not performed particularly well. But Franza has been fighting decent competition. Not decent. I saw the guy. I think it's Pikinini or something like that. The guy who was fighting on the contest series. The guy was like, I'm undecided on this one because Dana White's contender series fight was trash, and his opponent was guessed by the start of round two. But McKee is just trash, so hard to trust. I mean, both of them are not particularly good, man. Twizzy, I honestly don't feel any confidence in either one of them. I just feel like Franza is a little bit better. Not a little bit better, because both of them are terrible. So I think Franza is a lot less terrible. I think that's what I wanted to say. Franza is a lot less terrible. And I've been saying this recently. I think Dana White's Contender Series produces the best talent out of every single show that the UFC has, as far as bringing talent into the UFC, right? If you look at the Ultimate Fighter, if you look at Road to UFC or any other show, there's no other show that has, but again, alumni of that particular show in the top as much as the Contender Series. The Contender Series produced people like Dricus Du Plessis, Jack Della Maddalena, who else? What do we call him? Sean O'Malley. It produced a lot of high level talent in the UFC, right? Which shows that sometimes when someone looks trash on the Contender Series, it might not mean they are trash. It might mean their opponent is actually pretty decent, you know. So for me personally, I value a Contender Series alumni more than I value any other show from the UFC. Um, so, King Smoke, take on Josh Emmett KO. Josh Emmett is not gonna KO anyone, dude. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. Um, Josh Emmett has a 43% finishing rate. Go check my breakdown of the fight between Josh Emmett and Leron Murphy. It's on the live section of the channel. I don't think Josh Emmett is going to knock out anyone. Do you love MMA? I love MMA. So back to Rhys McKee and Daniel Frunza. So the point I was trying to make with Frunza, I don't have a lot of confidence in him, but at the very least, he's coming from beating someone who's 7-0 in if I'm not mistaken, and even the three opponents before him, I think, were particularly decent. Um, so for me personally, I feel like both of them are terrible so far, but I feel like I'm going to trust the guy who's coming off of a win on what I view as one of the most toughest um, shows or other paths to get into the UFC. I think everyone who goes through the contender series and gets into the UFC usually does well. A lot of them end up being ranked in the UFC. So I feel like because of that, I'm going to trust in Frunza to actually get it done. I'm not very confident because, like I said, based on what I've seen so far of the both of them, I mean, Rhys McKee has that finishing ability. He might find a way to get the finish. He has a bit of a reach advantage. Maybe that might play a factor. However, I'm going to go with the guy who's coming off of a series that produces high level talent in the UFC. And like I was saying before, even if someone looks terrible on the contender series, it might not mean they are terrible. It might just mean the guy they were fighting was pretty decent. But because it's on the contender series, we say, well, it's regional fighters, so they're both terrible. It might not mean that. Look at the fight between Joe Anderson Brito and Diego Lopez. It was a decision, and if you take that fight alone, you might say, okay, both of them are not that great. But in hindsight, look at what Diego Lopez ended up doing in the UFC. I forgot to even mention Diego Lopez. Even though he lost on the contender series, that's another mind blowing thing. Diego Lopez actually lost in on the contender series, but actually is now a title contender, which just goes to show the quality of talent that the contender series produces. So based off of that, I'm going to have a little bit more confidence on Franza. I'm still not very confident he wins because both of them are not that great, but I'm going to lean more towards Franza. Let me respond to you guys and then so I can bounce. Nandi, yeah, bro, in future, very soon. um, 30 and 0, bro. Okay. Wafek said, come on, don't play with me and my money. Franza win KO. I mean, I'm not very confident in that pick, by the way. You can take him, but I'm not very confident. My target is John. Oh, okay. You want to? Are you a fighter, Nandi? Anyway, I just finished breaking down two fights. You can watch all my breakdowns on the live section of the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think I have three more fights to break down for this card. So that means I've broken down 10 fights already. So you can watch them on the live section of the channel. Wafex, I take maybe only win Franza or KO. Okay. India has the oldest form of martial arts, bro. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take Sabatini maybe. Okay. I mean, it's up to you, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love and appreciate all of you. Until then, deuces. Yeah, bro. I'm a junior doctor and a fighter also, bro. Okay, stay on the channel and keep updating me. Maybe at some point we might do an interview. Twizzle Rich, would you take Sabdi over John? I don't know who's Sabdi. Twizy Rich. Who's Sabdi? Oh, I mean, I didn't get that up until now. No, I would definitely take Don Jones. Um, Imagine Emmett K.O. Murphy. Yeah, that would be crazy. 40 years old. I mean, I don't want that because, I mean, where can Emmett go? It's not like he's going to be a champion. So I'd much rather Leron Murphy actually wins so that we have a few more exciting fights in the division than to have an old guy who's probably going to lose his next fight. So I'd prefer to have someone fresh, who can have a bit more of a lengthy career. Um, Sabdi is the future champ. Sabdi. Okay, bro, I will join you. Okay, cool. Tuesday Rich, why are you laughing? Okay, bro. One day, brother. Yeah, one day. Wafex, Murphy looks very bad last fight. I hear you, but I still think he's a little bit more technical and technical enough to actually pick apart Josh Emmett at a distance. Um, Tuesday Rich, me too, brings hype to the division. It reminds me of Bobby Green versus Miller. Yeah, I agree, man. That was a crazy fight. Okay, I subscribe your channel, bro. Yeah, keep on joining the live so that I can keep your name in my mind, and then eventually maybe we can do an interview. One's way better, but doesn't have power. I agree, 100%. Looks tired. Who looks tired? Still, I'm 30 and 0 now. Wow, that's impressive, man. Maybe send me an email. Maybe we can talk. Ahmed is a hunter. Just say, a hunter. I mean, him and Leron Murphy have the same level of finishing rate, so it's not that impressive. After 50 and 0, I will be there in the UFC, bro. But what kind of Sabdi? What level of competition are you fighting, though? I get that you're 30 and 0, but what's your combined opponents' records? Can you tell me that? Like, who have you been fighting? Because like, you might be 30 and 0, and you're I don't know. I don't want to say something for my Uber driver. Don't be like that. Imagine if one day something is in the UFC and we were making. I wasn't making. I'm not making fun of you, guy. But I mean, that's why I say stay on the channel and then maybe we can have a conversation. I'm getting local fights only, bro. Murphy's going to sleep. Okay. Twizy Rich. Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow around the same time. Maybe it might be a little bit later tomorrow, but yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love and appreciate all of you. Until next time, deuces.